first 3 shots of the day. Got to kind of bear with me. So what we see here is how my 3D target has been done for so long that technically speaking, I would have had to have gone through 2 more targets in the amount of time that I'm still using this one. So I'm actually doubling it minimum, doubling the longevity of my 3D target without having to use any spray foam or do anything like that. How are we accomplishing this? With that backstop. Let's go up there and take a look so you can see what we're talking about. All right, so we can see that all 3 of these arrows have completely, passed completely through this target, and you hear them hitting on this backstop, okay? Every time I shoot through, you hear them hitting this backstop. That is the beauty of this setup, and because of that, they're still slowing down in this target a little bit, but given the fact that this is so blown out, I mean, there's just nothing left in this, you know, there's nothing left in there, enough to kind of grab them, but not enough to stop them. But what's happening is it's the backstop is stopping those arrows from going through. And because they are still slowing down in here, you can see that there's barely even a mark on this backstop. Okay, so when we take this, I'm going to zoom in and show you. So when we look at this, there's not even really a mark anywhere on back here. You can see all the little divots and hits, but because they're slowed down enough, they're just bumping that, and they're not actually, they're not putting any holes in them like you're seeing here and here, where you get a little bit of a hole where if I shoot and miss, or, you know, Bella misses, or anybody that's over here shooting misses, they might leave a little bit of a mark. But this backstop has been absolutely phenomenal at preventing any damage to that backstop, and it's allowing me to get my arrows, like we're seeing here, to be able to get my target life to be tremendous. Look at how chewed up this is and how gone this is. I mean, there's nothing left, yet I can keep shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting it, and it still does what I need it to. It still slows the arrows down enough. The backstop stops the arrows from anything, and I win by getting the extended life at least 2 times out of my targets by having this backstop setup. So if you want to have a way to be able to extend that life of your targets and get the most out of them, a backstop like this is definitely the answer. Like I said, what it does is it just keeps the arrows in the target. The target slows the arrows down still enough that they're not going to do any damage. And this horse stall mat here, like I said, it is so durable anyway. Even if I shoot straight at it with my 720 grain arrows out of my 57-pound longbow, they just hit this and fall right down. They don't even penetrate into this with the heads that I use. I use these kind of field tips, you know, just standard field tips like this. And they don't do all they do. I mean, heck, I'll shoot one for you right now. I'll shoot it from right here behind the camera. It does nothing to that backstop. We'll just shoot one right over the head of that deer. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it barely stuck. But I mean, when we take that out, I'm going to zoom in and show you. But it does not even go through. It doesn't even make a hole. Watch. Okay, we're going to zoom in on that. Okay, so you can see here, there's not even a full hole. And it's going to seal back up on itself in the second flat. But it only made it in that far. Okay, it's going to seal right back up and completely be gone and no hole there. So it's a beautiful, beautiful setup on how this works and what it does. And we're going to reset this. There we go. Okay, and moving this too, sorry. So like I said, as you saw there, there's no damage to this backstop. And even if you were to damage this or eventually shoot through it or give it a problem, these are like dirt cheap in cost. I don't remember what they are. I think they're like 80 bucks or something to replace this. And it's basically, all it is 10 screws I got along the top, and it free hangs on there. Okay, it's all there is to it. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy about it. But that longevity of those targets that I'm getting out of this thing, it's a gold mine. It's an absolute blessing because of the fact that I don't have to replace these targets that often. Before I had this, when I was in Michigan, as you saw, we would go through 3 of these targets every year. At 120 bucks a target, where, you know, whatever the prices are now, then I could find them on sale for like 80. That's rare to find today, to find them on sale for 80. So the value today is being able to get them for these kind of prices, as expensive as they are. The value is being able to make them last longer. I have 2 more of these targets in my shed here, already in boxes, that I bought a long time ago, figuring that this would have been blown out. This has been blown out for a very long time, but I can still shoot it non-stop because of this backstop here. And like I said, 0 damage to this whatsoever. So it's a fantastic kind of a backstop that really allows me to get the life out of my targets. Little tip for you, something to think about, but man, I'm sure loving the fact that I can shoot these for twice as long as I normally would be able to. And it doesn't matter what's falling, this stuff just keeps falling out. I mean, it's done. It's nothing left in here. It's just all garbage, but it's still enough to hold my arrow in position so I can see where my hit was, and that backstop, boom, stops that arrow, but I can still know where my shots are, which is what the target's supposed to do. And between the target still holding the arrow a little bit and this stopping it back here, I get every purpose I need out of these targets for so much longer. So little thought for you, little tip. We're just going to do 3 more on it just to do it. You hear it hit that backstop. Thump. Goes right through that target, hits that backstop. Right through it, hits that backstop. Just sweet, simple, and easy, and hits the backstop. No damage to the backstop. Whole center of that thing is blown out. And when we look at that backstop, like I said, you can see just puts a little ding in it that just self-heals and closes right up on its own. If we look at that shot I did earlier, right there, where we hit right there with that arrow, you can see it's already starting to seal up and close like that one did before, like that one does there. Okay, they self-seal and they self-close to a point where they don't even exist anymore. It's a beautiful setup, and like I said, just extends the life of that target perfectly. There we go. Thanks for watching.